Welcome everyone. I'm here in front of the First Baptist Church of Fort Pierce, Florida, a place with a rich history of faith on Florida's Treasure Coast. Today we're diving into Faith and the Founders of the American Republic, edited by Mark David Hall and Daniel Dreisbeck. Specifically, Chapter 13, Isaac Backus and John Leland, Baptist Contributions to Religious Liberty in the Founding Era, written by Joe L. Cocker. This chapter sheds light on how two influential Baptists, Isaac Backus and John Leland, championed liberty of conscience and religious freedom during America's founding era. In this video, I'll be summarizing and reviewing Cocker's chapter to explore how Backus and Leland's ideas on religious liberty and church-state relations help shape American thought on these issues and how their legacies continue to resonate today.
In Faith and the Founders of the American Republic, Joe L. Cocker highlights the roots of Baptist advocacy for religious freedom, tracing it back to Thomas HUIS, a leader of England's First Baptist Church. HUIS's bold declaration, "In the Mystery of Iniquity," written in 1612, challenged the king's authority, insisting that men's religion to God is betwixt God and themselves. The king shall not answer for it, neither may the king be judge between God and man, a stance that led to his imprisonment and death in 1616. Joe Cocker writes that Backus and Leland were pivotal Baptist figures advocating for religious liberty and opposing state-sponsored religion. Historian Mark Knoll supports Cocker in his book America's God, From Jonathan Edwards to Abraham Lincoln, where he emphasizes that Backus and other Baptists saw liberty of conscience as essential not only for political freedom, but for moral and spiritual autonomy. It would take decades in Connecticut and nearly a century in Massachusetts for full religious liberty. Both Backus and Leland had a profound awareness of their Baptist heritage and the legacy of religious liberty. Backus's History of the Baptists in America highlights Roger Williams's advocacy for liberty of conscience as central to their shared tradition. Leland, too, saw this heritage as intrinsic to Baptist identity, stating that the principle that civil rulers have nothing to do with religion in their official capacities is, quote, as much interwoven in the Baptist plan as Phidias's name was in the shield, end quote. For Backus, this conviction fueled his drive to end church taxes in Massachusetts. He warned that any state interference in worship was as contrary to the laws of Christ as darkness is to light. Leland shared this passion, believing each individual must answer to God alone. He even rejected the notion of toleration as degrading, asserting that all, including Jews, Turks, pagans, and Christians, should be equally free. One of the most contentious issues for Baptists in colonial America was the state-sponsored establishment of religion. Backus saw this as a violation of liberty, arguing that the state had no authority to compel financial support for religion. He fought tirelessly for disestablishment, believing that true faith should be voluntary. Leland shared this opposition to state establishments, but was more radical in his critique. Leland pushed for complete disestablishment, reflecting a more progressive Baptist view that saw any state involvement in religion as corrupting. In early America, a surprising alliance formed between Thomas Jefferson, who admired the philosophy of Jesus but did not acknowledge his divinity, and Isaac Backus, a strict Calvinist Baptist. United by a shared vision of religious freedom, they fought to protect individual liberties and limit government power. Jefferson's wall of separation metaphor sparked debate among many Baptists. As historian Christopher Grenda notes, both Jefferson and Backus rejected the idea that religious toleration was merely a means to social happiness, championing it instead as an inherent right. Despite differing religious views, their partnership laid the foundation for a nation where religious freedom would eventually be enshrined in law. According to Cocker, Backus and Leland exemplify the diversity within the early Baptist movement, showing us that religious freedom and church-state relations were not monolithic ideas. Together, their lives and writings help to shape the debate over religious liberty in America, a debate that resonates in our conversations on freedom and faith today. We hope that you've enjoyed this information on Isaac Backus and John Leland, and we want to thank you for watching.